The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the January 24th, the terrific Tuesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Hey, let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, well, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. You can dial in at 877-927-6648. If you can't dial in, we've got you covered there too. You can always send me an email. Send that early. Send that to steve@tfnn.com. And inside the subject heading, if you'd be kind enough to put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on terrific Tuesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now, a slightly mixed bag out there. The Dow's up 8 points, 9 points. Otherwise, the other indices are trading slightly to the downside. The biggest loser out there, the semis, are up 0.7% or 21 points. Not really that big of a deal. In fact, the SMH has confirmed A to B equals CD to the upside. The XLK did that. The Qs did that. The SPYs did that. I think there's a couple others that are out there that have those confirmed A to B equals CD to the upside patterns. If we take a look at what's leading the charge dollar-wise, the upside, you've got Mercado Libre up $8.39. It's about a little bit less than 0.8%. BlackRock is up 1% or $8. Northrop Grumman, $5, 1.25%. SBA Communications up 2%. That's $5 and change. And Cummins Inc. is up $2. That's $5.25 as well. To the downside, the shakers are $25.44 with Thermo Fisher Scientific. That's down 4%. Repligen Corp is off 6% or nearly $12. Lululemon's 2 7/10%, nearly $9. Domino's Pizza $9. That's 2 6/10%. And Danaher Corp is off 3%. That's $8 and change to the downside. Of course, I want to look at what you want to look at. Let's just simply go take a look at the NQ right now. Well, actually, let's do the following. Before we switch panels out here, let's go to this panel. There we go. And let's just simply expand these out, take a look at them. So here we had the ES Mini close above the swing point. Its B point of an A to B equals CD yesterday. That's at 40.35 We're at 40.33 right now. You'd like to see 2 consecutive closes above that level out there. Whether we get that or not, you right now have a confirmed A to B equals CD to the upside. That should take us into the 41.4850 level. You can see there's a descending trend line. That's its next resistance area to deal with on its further move higher. That's assuming that it can clear the top of this daily profile again. If we take a look at the NQ, also confirming an A to B equals C to the upside, running into trend line resistance. If we can clear this level, we're off to 12.317. Chances are more likely 12.591 to the upside. If we take a look at the Dow in this case here, this stage of the rally, it's been a little bit weaker. It's still the strong of the four, but it's been a little bit weaker here. And price right now, what it's done though, it's tested and rejected its swing point from December 20th. Price is trying to get back inside its daily profile. So it's got these battles at 33.716, 33.870, and 34.179. If we take a look at the Russell 2000, it's dealing here with trend line resistance. Or at least it did really set it up a couple of days ago. But that's the area which is near the top of its profile at 1916.50 that it needs to clear in order to form an A to B equals CD to upside. So in summary out here, 2 of the 4 have got confirmed A to B equals CD patterns to the upside. One of them, the Dow, has tested and rejected a lower swing point out there. So that's a positive. And in the case of the Russell, it's just trading with inside its bearish structured profile, so it's a little bit rocky out there. Keep your seat belts fastened. If we take a quick peek and move over from this and to take a look at the NQ out here, since that's a strong dog at this moment during this stage of the rally, if we take a look at its chart patterns out here, you'll see on the daily time frame, price did close above the top of its TD9 breakdown resistance area at 11,898. Another positive outcome yesterday. We did get a TD9 count top on the 5-hour chart last night. What price has done is pulled back and tested and so far rejected its green oscillator and change line. Its signal, therefore, is neutral. That is a bullish sign, testing and rejecting a green oscillator and change line. We've got the same pattern here for the 240. It was bar following bar number 9 that identified that TD9 count top. Here, price also pulling back and testing and rejecting that green oscillator and change line. So that's the level to really be watching. If price can clear or close above 11,983, the TD9 counts that we're taking a look at will have vanished. So we did see price pull back, but it pulled back, and on the intraday charts, on the 30-minute chart, we can see that price broke through a TD9 count bottom. It did that at 9 o'clock this morning, but that was it. So with regard to a support level or a pattern, we don't have anything on the 30-minute chart, and that really takes us back to the 5-hour chart here at 11,840. That's that oscillator and change line. That is really the key level of support to be watching throughout the day for clues as to what the market's next intent is. But right now its intent is to move higher, maybe a bit lower today and tomorrow. Why a bit lower today and tomorrow? It's simply because it's just simply the dance steps of the markets out here. If we take a look at that, you'll see here I've identified days where we've had 2 consecutive days of higher closes, and those have identified pretty much counter trend moves out there. Now, the last move up here inside the NQ and the NDX 100, that was 7 consecutive sessions out there. So it's an indication of a change in trend that is underway out here. The normal pullback, 2 bars, well, that took place a few days ago. That was on Friday the 19th out there. Then nice to today's Wednesday, right? Yeah, today's Wednesday. What is today? Is today Wednesday? Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. So that was on Thursday, and then we had a nice rally on Friday and on Monday. Don't worry, folks. I'll get my my stuff together here. But that just suggests a pullback, at least a 1-day pullback. 2 days would be nice. Nothing significant, at least nothing significant at this stage of the game. So the natural dance steps for the NQ is really what we're taking a look at for at least a 1 or 2 day pullback. I'm not looking at some kind of crash or anything along those lines. We did have a number of questions that came in yesterday. Well, a couple of questions that came in yesterday when my internet went down. So what we're going to do here is get to those questions first. And the first one came in. I apologize, I didn't write down who was asking for it. I know what I remember the handle of the email, but I don't recall the individual. But it was basically asking if Boyle, B-O-I-L, had bottoms. So let me see. Where do I have Boyle? Do I have Boyle? Here's Boyle. Now, Boyle is an ETF for natural gas, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it is a 200 or 300% move. But I don't know which one. It could be just the 1-to-1. So the question is, this is really based upon natural gas. And that's what we're going to go take a look at. But first here, with regard to Boyle, if we were to just stick with Boyle, you can see that yesterday Boyle formed a bull sash candle that was confirming a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom pattern. So if the question was, has Boyle bottomed, it is giving you a bottoming signal. It did that yesterday. Now what price needs to do is close above 11.11 to suggest a change in trend. We come back from this break. We'll take a look at Boyle. We'll take a look at natural gas. We're going to take a look at Exxon Mobil for Hector. And we're going to take a look at silver for John inside the Tiger's Den. This question is, are we getting ready to slingshot higher? We'll be right back.
Currencies, commodities, and bond markets are as important as ever right now with how they're driving the volatility in equity markets across the globe, which is why it's a great time to try out Teddy Kakestat's Tiger Forex Report. Teddy Kakestat breaks down the Forex markets every Monday using his 30-plus years of experience as a trading veteran of futures, Forex, stocks, and options. Teddy releases his weekly Tiger Forex Report every Monday morning with coverage of all the major currency pairs, including the dollar index, the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Swiss, dollar yen, as well as many more, and he also has weekly coverage of the crude oil market and the 30-year T-bonds, as they both influence Forex markets tremendously. When you sign up for the Tiger Forex Report, you also gain instant access to Teddy's 60-minute webinar archive he just hosted, Forex Strategies and Fundamentals, What is Behind the Tiger Forex Report. For all the details and to start your 30-day Tiger Forex Report subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. So we're taking a look at ticker symbol BOIL. BOIL, it's an ETF for natural gas. We can see that BOIL has not closed above the top of a daily profile since November 25th, 2022. So 1111 is the number that you're watching out there. A close above that would suggest a change in trend. That would then signal to you and I a price target of 1865. So now, do you take that trade now with that bottom signal? Well, first, if we were just basing this on BOIL, if I look at a 30-minute time frame chart for it, what this is telling us is that I don't see any kind of a topping pattern, but I do see that price is below its oscillator and change line with inside a bearish structured profile. So I would say if you're going to try to take a long position in BOIL, try to pick it up at around $9.48 out there. That's the bottom of the 30-minute profile. Let's go take a look at natural gas. So let's be thorough about this. So let's move from BOIL over to the natural gas charts. Give me a moment to do that. Let me make sure I'm in the right spot. I am. That's a good thing. I know yesterday I reviewed something and apparently my screen was stuck in the wrong spot. I hate that when that happens. Here are the charts for natural gas. On the upper left-hand side, you've got the monthly chart, and quite frankly, it looks horrible. No bottom signal. The weekly chart says no bottom pattern here. Needs a bullish reversal candle to confirm a buy the D point. Maybe it goes on to form a TD9 count, but that's at least 2 to 3 weeks out from here. You can see that Rhodes momentum indicator bottom pattern that formed yesterday. It's a bullish hammer candle on the daily time frame. Here, price needs to close above $3.38 in order to get its mojo and say that it wants to make a run for 416. So here, with regard to it, let's look at its 30-minute time frame chart. And on the 30-minute time frame chart, what we can see is a TD9 count bottom is in the process of forming. Now, this assumes that at 11:30, 9 minutes from now, that price closes below $3.15, 3.156 to be exact. If that happens, then you have a TD9 count bottom that's going to take place either between 11:30 and 12. It may have already taken place because the low so far of the pattern is on bar 9, which is what we're into. You can see the oscillator and change line has changed color out there. So I would say more likely than not, it's going to be natural gas's 30-minute chart that drives that next potential bottom versus what we took a look at in BOIL out there. So again, something for you to consider. If you are trading BOIL, I have to assume you are also looking at natural gas charts out there. And so in this case here, we do know that the bottom can form on bars number 8, 9, or the bar following 9. Price is below the bottom of its profile right now. I would say if it stays below $3.43, as we get to 11:30, again about 9, it's a little bit shy of 9 minutes from now, I believe, then we might see that lower low out there that would form. I don't know if I've got a shorter term time frame. Let me take a quick peek here. These are longer term time frame charts. Here's a 10-minute chart for natural gas. So let's pull this over. This is February. We'll change this to March here momentarily. So give me a moment. And G323. And let's go see what kind of chart signal information this is providing us. It did have a T9 count bottom, but has failed. And so this is suggesting lower price. You are in wave number 7, though. So this one's a toss-up. I've got a potential bottom signal on the 10-minute chart, which is nice when you're seeing a bottom signal on a 30-minute time frame chart out here. Probably need more time. It's only 11:21 right now, so I need to really see that next 10-minute bar. But to answer your question, I can't manage this trade for you in detail during the next half hour or so, but you do have the signals of a bottom when it comes to both oil and natural gas. So I hope that helps you out, and thanks much for waiting and being patient out there, waiting a full day for that answer. But quite frankly, it worked out to be good to wait because yesterday we would not have had that confirmed bullish reversal candle. The next question that came in yesterday was from Hector, and Hector wanted to take a look at, no, it wasn't Intuit. Maybe it's on this chart here. Oh, it was Exxon Mobil. So let's go take a look at Exxon Mobil out here. Whoa, is that really today? That's a huge candle. That can't be today. Must have some kind of data feed issue. Well, maybe not. Wow, that's crazy. This says that this is traded, and I guess it has. Has it really? Holy shnikes out here. Anybody else got a data feed on this? I've got 2 data feeds that are saying that this traded at a low of 99.23 and a high of 126.54. Can't be out there. So, Hector, I'm not really sure what's going on here inside of ExxonMobil. Maybe it did. I'm looking for somebody in the den who doesn't use either the eSignal feed or the kinetic feed from Ninja Trader. Quite frankly, that would almost be DTN, too, because that's where the Ninja Trader feed is coming from. TDA shows the same. Wow. Yeah, it that's crazy. I don't. You have to go back and study the trades and see what happened. Thinkorswim. So everybody's got the same thing out here. So if this is real, what the heck does this mean? What do we have out here? Man, oh man. Well, all I can say is price is back inside its profile. So it's just consolidated with inside the profile. When I look at the daily time frame, the weekly time frame, well, that's a big old key reversal bar, but the week is not over. So I can't really make that position. So with regard to ExxonMobil, which is a big stock inside the marketplace out there, I'd have to really do more work to try to understand just exactly. Did it have a release of numbers or something? What the heck? XOM. This guy. Verizon did similar on the open. ExxonMobil. Yeah, I don't know. I'd almost have to rely more on Tom's system than our systems out here. See if Bloomberg's got the same thing. But I don't see any other information in the news out here to suggest that kind of move. So I'm just going to have to skip ExxonMobil for the time being out here. Let's go to our next question. This one coming in from Alton. And Alton wants to take a look at fuel, HAL, Halliburton. So let's get Halliburton screens up on my chart. Let me read the actual question. It says, hope you're well. I am. Thank you. Nice pullback today in Halliburton. Where do you see this headed to in order to add to your position? Have a terrific Tuesday. So, well, as soon as these charts populate, we'll go ahead and answer that question. So right now what this shows us is there was a TD9 count top, Alton, and that formed a couple of days ago. This was on the 18th of January. Price right now is trading. It's made the full round today from the top of its profile to the bottom of the profile. If price closes below, you know what I would say? If price closes below 39.49, then with that signaling to an eye, his price may run back to 36.89. So the first answer to your question is around 36.89 out there. Do I see anything else? Not really. So I hope that helps you out, Alden. Again, watch the swing low, or the low really should be from January 19th. I believe that even though it's trading below the bottom of its profile, which is another area to certainly watch, I would say, though, if price is able to close below that January 19th swing, that would set up that move to the 36.89 area out there. Let's see. We've got, I don't know who we have. Al, if you say I've got, okay, there we go. Okay, we've got Jim in Palm Harbor. Hey, Jim, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you?
I'm great, Steve. How you been?
Very good. Are you calling about Exxon Mobil? Are you going to help me out here?
Yeah, this morning there was a problem on the New York Stock Exchange between the different exchanges, and there were several companies, Exxon and Verizon and stuff.
Hey, Jim, hold on for a minute. Jim, do me a favor. Hold on. We're going to go to a hard break here, and I'd like to bring you back and just let you further explain that. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back, please.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, Butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So we're taking a look at the stock right now of Exxon Mobil. We've got Jim in Palm Harbor, who was kind enough to call us, and so we're going to break there. Jim, so sorry that I wasn't really paying attention to the clock. So go ahead. I've seen there's a number of things and statements inside the our Tiger's Den, but let the folks know what it is that you know that took place this morning.
All I know was shortly after the open, several exchanges had a problem with the open price of some stocks, and like Verizon jumped 7% when it should have been down a little, and Exxon went down a lot, and it was just something to do with a glitch in the exchanges, and it lasted I think they had it cleared up within 10 minutes.
I think maybe they have it cleared up from the standpoint of data flowing properly, but I don't know if really trades really fired off at these prices. When I take a look at that wide range in Exxon Mobil, so we'll probably know more come tomorrow. But that shows you what happens. I was away at an appointment, got back in time to do the show, and so I should have been listening. I should have been paying attention to the news and not listening to music. Although when I get in the car, I tend to tune out the regular noise out there. So hey, Jim, thanks for the call and letting me know. Is there anything that I can do for you? Anything I can look up for you?
No, I just follow you every day, and you and Tom and.
Well, thank you.
All of you. And they said they were having a trouble figuring out how to price the open price after that, but I don't know what happened there. So
there's no doubt, and if they were to leave the stock chart like this, I'm not really sure what to make of it. So hopefully it didn't affect too many individual stocks. But I see Verizon is one of them. That's something inside the den here. So Palantir maybe was another one. In any event, thanks so much for calling, Jim. I really appreciate it. Thanks for being my wingman today.
Sure. Bye.
You bet. That was Jim in Palm Harbor. Let's do this here. We've come back to the break. We did have a request from John to take a look at the silver. And his question is silver getting ready to propel higher? And so to take a look at that, let's take a look at the silver charts. And let me change screens. I don't want to do the same thing I did yesterday, which was talk about one set of screens while another one was actually posted inside the Tiger's Den. So as we speak right now, everybody should see the 8-panel set of charts here for silver. If we look at the monthly time frame, silver has an A to B equals CD to the downside. Now, it's completed not because it formed a bullish reversal candle. Yeah, there's a hammer candle out here. That was the month of July, but the next month price closed just below it, so it negated that signal. The reason I say it's completed is because last month price closed above the top of its profile, and it's above a green oscillator and change line. Those are bullish conditions. So the very first thing we want to do is John is asking the question, silver formed a significant bottom and is getting ready to jettison to the upside. So on a monthly basis, knowing that price is trading above the top of its profile, the answer to that question is yes. If we look at the weekly time frame, the weekly chart shows that this formed a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom on a weekly basis. Those of you that have been long-time listeners, you know when we see those weekly Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottoms in the indices out there, they are a very good sign of a important bottom. Not that they haven't failed, or some haven't failed, but most of them don't fail, and they've identified a significant bottom in the market. So is that applicable to silver as well? We'll go find out in a moment. But right now, we know that on a weekly basis, it's got that nice Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. What we also know is that price formed a TD9 count top. It did on the bar following bar number 9. That was the week of December 23rd. And we consider that level, which is 24.525, has acted as resistance. Now, when you make a top, what price will typically do is pull back to its oscillator and change line. It's not a moving average. You should learn the oscillator and change line. I teach that. Become a subscriber. Do it for 29 days. It doesn't cost you anything. You'll have an education for a lifetime. What transpired here is, in fact, today, earlier in the day, I believe was, or overnight, price pulled back, or maybe it was yesterday. Price pulled back. It was yesterday. Price pulled back and tested and rejected that green oscillator and change line after forming a TD9 count top and after that line changed color. That is a bullish signal. Now, when I say it's a bullish signal, it is a bullish signal, but because we have an existing top, the overall weekly signal is neutral. Monthly, bullish. Weekly, neutral. Close above 24.525. That gets back to overall outright bullish. On a daily time frame, we have a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. That formed or has resistance at 24.52 as well. So on a daily basis, we've seen just a sideways move. And yesterday's move lower found support at the bottom of its profile, John. That's at $23.47. I don't really think we need to take a look at the other charts or the other time frames out here, but the daily is just waiting. So it's got a nice TD9 count top, but price has found support. Now, is price getting ready to take off? Well, let's come back to that weekly set of charts out here. And the weekly set of charts, so I went ahead and created this last evening. If we take a look, so here's the Rhodes Momentum Indicator. Now, I've gone ahead and put together a bar chart. And so you'll see these diagonal moves out here. When you see those diagonal lines, Those are Rhodes Momentum Indicator signals. Here you can see whether or not, and we're waiting for it. I've also got just the bullish reversal candles that are up on our screen out here. So we can see that this most recent one here, that was confirmed with a bullish reversal candle. If we take a look at the one that formed before that, let me get my crosshair out here, John. That one formed out here on November the 16th. You got your bullish reversal candle on the 7th. That certainly led to a rally. That rally that led us into a high on the week of September the 6th. Let's pull this back further. Look for another Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal. There's one that formed out here on December 25th. This is December 25th of 2015. We're looking at a weekly chart. That certainly led to a very nice rally. This signal out here never confirmed with a bullish reversal candle. Out here, this one did. This was a piercing candle that led to a little bit of a rally, which ended up failing, but it did identify a bottom out here. Let's continue to come back in. What we're looking for are those signals, those diagonal lines where we also see a bullish reversal candle. So, for example, back in October of 2008, showed you the Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal. The bullish candle came in January of 2009, and it was off to the races. That race is here. This is what John is really looking at. Is it possible that we're going to see some type of slingshot here where we had silver get up to the $4 area, $53.98. Is that the type of market? Well, the point of doing this and taking a look at these weekly charts out here, the weekly charts that show those Rhodes Momentum Indicator signals on a weekly basis, they're hard to form. It takes quite a bit in order for this pattern to be pulled off out there. And so I'm showing you some of them. Each of them have led to at least a bit of a rally out there, not an immediate failure. So you're seeing, this was taking us back into the 1995 time frame. I don't know what the heck happened there. When was that? 1991? Yeah, I don't remember that kind of a move. So the answer is, technically speaking, the answer is yes, it is set up for that possibility. Will that unfold? I don't know. Fundamentally, what's going on behind this, you know better than I do out here, that we're looking at Bretton Woods. A new version of Bretton Woods that's coming to being out there. Everything is supposedly going the digital wise. I don't know about you folks. I would throw out this question: how comfortable are you that the power grid is going to stay up? That this administration, or any administration at this stage here, has their together, and so do you really want to be? So I can see most individuals. And I'm throwing this out there as a great idea. You really should have some pre-64 silver. You should have a bag full. I mean, it's $1,000. I don't know what it's selling for right now, but you should have some pre-64 silver. You want to have something that you can exchange with. And gold and silver, hey, they've been around forever. So fundamentally, John, yeah, with what's going on, plus with regard to the technical signals, there's definitely that possibility. So I hope that helped you out. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on a cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A shares hot or not? If you trade China A shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A Share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. So right now we've got the Dow is, all the U.S. indices are trading a little bit to the downside. Nothing significant. The most significant is the semis are down about 0.7% or 20 points out there. Let's go to our next question that come in. This is from Nicholas, who wants to take a look at ticker symbol BX. So let me get that up on our screen here. Hopefully that is this set of charts. It is. And let me get to his question. So give me a moment. And it goes like this. It says... Morning, Steve. Would you go over BX, interested in an entry point? That's Blackstone, by the way, folks, who we're talking about. Have a great day and a better one tomorrow. I like that. I like the way you think. So if we take a look at Blackstone out here, it is pulling back today, but yesterday it looks like this may have confirmed an A to B equals C to the upside. So let's see here. The trading day is January 18th. Volume there, 4.9 million shares. Yesterday that gets passed with 5.3. So Blackstone has an A to B equals C to the upside. I'm going to do the calculations on my other screen out here. Much easier for me to do with regard to the A to B equals CD. So the one-to-one price projection, Nicholas, is 96.03. It was only a 47% retracement. So that could signal more than a one-to-one A to B equals CD. So I would say between 96.03 and 100.37. You're looking for an entry point. So what I'm going to do here is, so first we take a look at Blackstone. What we can see is it had a 2-day rally, and this may be a pullback. It may or may not. You might have a 3-day rally out here. So it could be setting up for a little bit of a decline, much like the NQ. We took a look at that earlier. So that's one possibility. Let's take a look at the 30-minute time frame chart, see if there's any kind of signal here. So on a 30-minute basis for Blackstone, we can see this formed a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. Now, that's under the assumption that Blackstone wasn't caught up in the shenanigans of market opens that, for example, Exxon Mobil did. It's a pretty wide-ranging bar out there. I'm going to assume at this stage here it's normal or natural. But what that did here is that the very next bar confirmed a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. Now prices below or with inside its profile. So as a price target, I would say you'd be looking at somewhere between 86.94 to 87.42. That's one of the areas to look at. Another area to look at, maybe you stagger yourself into a position here, would be a price for it to get down to 86.56. That's the bottom of its current 30-minute profile out there. So you've got a confirmed A to B equals C to the upside. No confirmed intraday bottom signal here just yet. So look at those short-term charts, Nicholas, to make your trading decision out there with regard to ticker symbol BX. Thanks so much for writing in, and you have a better day tomorrow as well. But I want you to have a great day today. David in Tomball, Texas, David wants to take a look at fuel cell. FCEL is the ticker symbol. So let's read David's question, which reads like this. Please take a look at fuel cell energy. On the daily chart, the stock confirmed a 1-to-1 A to B equals C to the upside yesterday. Can you give me the trading ranges? Oscillator and change line, your opinion on the stock going higher or more than a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. So FCEL is a ticker symbol out there. We can see that it is trading right now at 372. So the question is, what was the volume? So I'm going to get to my other screen out here. If you give me a moment, I'll switch back and forth. So let's first come back. So you wanted the oscillator and change line. Let me first give that to you since we're on the white background chart. And that's going to be at $3.26 or thereabouts. So that's your first level of support. That's also the top of the profile. So $3.26. That was the first thing you looked at. The next thing you wanted to know is just kind of an evaluation of the A to B equals CD pattern. So for that, we're going to use Stevie's A to B equals CD tool. Go to those black background charts. And what we'll do is we'll start with the low point out here for our A point. That is going to be the trading session of December 22nd. That leads to a rally, nice rally up into January 18th, then a pullback, a two-day pullback into January 19th. That was a 51% retracement. The volume on that bar, that's the B point bar I'm referring to. That was January 18th, about 12.9 million shares. It was passed yesterday with 14.7. So your 1-to-1 A to B equals CD gets you $4.28. You mentioned that already. Now, you mentioned $4.15. I'll give you $4.28. You may have been using the swing point here from December 28th. That's just fine out there, not a big deal. But your price range, this is a stronger. The C to D leg right now is stronger than the A to B leg. That suggests more than a 1-to-1. So your price range is 428 to 461 or thereabouts out there. No other topping signals or anything. So, David, congrats on this trade if you are in this. And I like the patterns out there. So best of luck to you. The next question coming in from Hector and Patty. They want to take a look at ticker symbol MTDR. So let's actually let's read the question. Happy Taco Tuesday. MTDR projections for an upside resistance level out here. So right now in the black background charts, folks, you can see prices trade above all profile levels, above the top of all profile levels. So those are bullish conditions. So now let's switch back to the white background charts, see if there's something else that we might be able to see here that'll assist us in understanding where resistance is at or where price is headed to. So for that, we get to these white background charts. We'll see that resistance is yesterday's high. Why? Because it was a TD9 count top. So your resistance is at 63.56. Hector and Patty, if price closes above that, especially if it does it today, but if it closes above that, you have a strong upward momentum move that is underway. You would have likely, you've got an A to B equals CD pattern as well. So it's B point, which was the trading day of January 18th at volume of 998. You closed just above it yesterday. Well, lighter volume, 766. Nonetheless, there is an active A to B equals CD, not a confirmed one. So the language that we use here at TFNN is a pattern, A to B equals CD pattern is confirmed when price exceeds the B point with volume. Does that mean that it can't form the lightning bolt? Heavens to Betsy, no, whoever Betsy is. It's just if you can take out resistance with volume, it adds to the probability that it'll go ahead and form that A to B equals CD price projection level. The price projection level here, Hector and Patty, is 68.66. That's the 1-to-1. I would suggest more likely 71.51. But your resistance is yesterday's high, plain and simple. Now, on a weekly chart, your resistance is up at its oscillator and change line where it's basically trading. So if on Friday this can close above 62.73, check your box. That's another bullish signal out there. And the monthly chart, it's really neutral. Rhodes momentum indicator top, but price above its green oscillator and change line. It is above the top of its profile. So you got neutral on the monthly. You've got kind of neutral on the weekly. You got neutral on the daily. It's a fairly neutral chart out there, but I would stay with that position, Hector and Patty. And thanks for writing in, and have a terrific Taco Tuesday yourself out there. G-Man wants to take a look at SOXL, which is a 3-time. I'm not going to do that. Sorry, G-Man. No, I'm kidding. G-Man wants to get into a long position inside the semiconductors. He wants to do it by SOXL. What we're going to do here, though, is we're going to say you can't make that decision until you evaluate the charts for SMH. That's going to provide you with the better data, or typically it provides you with the better data out there. Now, the SMH has confirmed an A to B equals C to the upside yesterday as well. Took out the B point, did it with volume, took out its prior high. That prior high had volume of 4.7 million shares. Yesterday's volume was 6.4 million shares. So there ain't nothing wrong with the SMHs out here. Where could price pull back to? Well, I'd love to pull back to 226.22. I don't know if it will do that. That is its current oscillator and change line. You do have a bit of resistance at 235.80 on the weekly chart. That's its breakdown level. But closing above that says you get up to 244. Wait a minute, Stevie. You were giving me I didn't give you the A to B equals CD levels on the SMHs out here. I gave it to you on Matador, MTDR out there. We come back from this break. We'll give you what those price projection levels are. We'll look at the short-term time frame charts for the semis. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back. So, man, we take a look at the SMHs here. We look at the 30-minute time frame chart. You see, as well as I do, a TD9 count top. That TD9 count top then led to a consolidation with inside its profile. So one potential entry area. So I don't have a bottom pattern, but we do have a top that found support at a profile level. That can be a bottom. So depending on how aggressive you want to be or how you're going to trade this, the 235.74 area can be a place to consider taking a long position. I would say if price closes below the low of the day, The low of the day is 234.90. That would actually signal move back to the 226.43, or at least some kind of bottom pattern that would form at around that area out there. So that's the best that I've got right now with regard to the SMHs. With regard to, that's really all that I've got for you. So I hope that helps you out. Maybe we'll have some clearer information come tomorrow. The next question that we've got in here, we don't have much time. We had a request to take a look at FCEL. I'm just going to flip through these charts real quick. This is trading below profile on a daily basis, below the oscillator and change line on the weekly basis. Looks like this wants lower price. Maybe this forms a TD9 count bottom, and maybe it does it between tomorrow. That would be Wednesday and Friday, but it's got to spike at least below the level of 66.95 for that to be a potential pattern out there. The next request was to take a look at that was XCL. The next request is to take a look at Intuit. We were doing yesterday, I think, when I got cut off. Intuit is bullish. It is finally above the top of the center of its bullish structured profile. And that was at 402.21. Yesterday you closed above it. Today you've pulled back, tested and rejected that level. That suggests to me that what Intuit wants to do is go target the 436 level. That's the top of its daily profile. The top of its weekly profile is 420.23. That becomes another price target as well. So I believe I've gotten through all of the questions that have come in. Sorry again about yesterday's show being cut off. It was definitely a inconvenience for all of us, but we did get the internet back at about the 2:30 time frame, I believe. So, folks, stay tuned. We got great programming lined up for you. I'll see you back here on wonderful Wednesday. Please have a terrific Tuesday. Be safe out there. Take care.